What?
Start.
All right. Welcome to our newest episode. In this episode, we're going to have the principal Accomplice, and with it, Jack Daniels Bottle and Bond.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning into Cigars, Liquor, and More as we join our buddies Bill
Howdy.
and our other brother Daryl,
Smoke up, Johnny.
chilling through 2022. Broadcasting from our studio speakeasy as they talk about cigars, liquor, and anything else that comes to mind.
Okay, well, the principal line is difficult to get blends on. This is the Accomplice Robusto white label, and after that, I have no idea of what makes it
Tech support.
happen. So, with it, the Jack Daniels. This is the Bottle and Bond. Of course, then it is 100 proof. Its MSRP is $32, so it's a little bit more than your regular Jack, but it's also a little bit more alcohol. So there you have it. And
That one was kind of washed out.
Yeah.
That looks much better.
so
Go
There you have it.
Go the way you read.
So this
Bottle and
band is
Bond.
cloth band instead of
yeah,
paper
it is.
band.
It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I love it. I mean, their Aviator line had a really nice band, and it didn't have to be cloth. I'm not sure why this one's cloth. Don't care.
Yes.
It's fine.
I love the embossing on the raised on the bottle. It's pretty cool.
Raised glass, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they went the extra
Right.
mile there.
Yeah, it's a cloth band. You get a foot band with it. It's just
You know how much
kind
we
of,
love foot bands.
just kind of a little annoying. Yeah. V cut that bad boy. Let's light her up, baby.
Cold draw is mild. It's very mild. Not sure. It's really mild. Just a little bit of earth. Yeah, it's just a little earthy and there's something can't quite make out.
Fairly easy draw there. That's
Oh, mine seems like a normal draw. We'll see.
too much wind for a. Too much breeze for
We
a.
do have a lot of wind in here today. How many fans we have on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh yeah, every one of them. Well, when I came home from work, I walked out here. It felt pretty nice. I started, cleaning and getting stuff together, ready to record, and I started getting hot. So I turned on the fan over there and turned on the fan over there to protect the computer, and it just kind of snowballed. It is a little noisy in here, but
Nah.
you know what? Noise reduction on
Takes it
Audacity
out.
takes it right out.
Yeah, no problem. For 100 proof, this doesn't come off as hot on the nose at all.
I'm gonna have to let that cigar.
Seems pretty.
Gonna have to let that cigar settle it a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
It's just there's something interesting about it. We'll see if it hangs around. Let's try this. Let's try this Jack Bond.
So, sorry.
Bond. Jack Bond.
I think it's pretty mild for 100 proof, especially on the nose. It still smells like Jack, obviously. It's not old number 7, I guess, but well, let's see if it's old number. Actually, let me see.
I think it's a little bit more. I think it's a little bit more.
It doesn't say old number 7 anywhere on it. What it says is bonded Tennessee whiskey, aged in select barrels for added depth and character. Bottle and Bond, 100 proof. And then it mentions that it's a big, bold Tennessee whiskey with layered notes of caramel, rich oak, and spice, giving way to a pleasantly lingering finish.
Pleasantly lingering finish. It does have a pretty long finish, and I do like it.
Yeah,
I think it's got. I think it does have a bit more kick in the aroma and in the flavor. than the old number 7. I think you're getting more out of this.
So how does it say?
I like this one.
How does it say caramel, rich oak, and spice, and not mention nutty? Because this is just like regular Jack in that it's really nutty.
I do think there's some caramel.
Oh, there's caramel,
but
yeah, nuts,
woody, nutty.
You know, actually, when I bought it, I'd never seen it before. I grabbed it off the rack at Liquor King, and I asked the guy. I said, "So, what do you think of this?" He's like, "Actually, I haven't had it yet." And after I rung up, I'm like, "You want to have some? You got sample cups here because you can sample their store picks." And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, it's getting opened." And he's like, "Sure,
let's do that."
And we both tasted it together at the register.
Nice. Did he like it? What do you think?
He liked it, and he thought it reminded him a lot of Jack Daniels. Yeah,
it does, just with more oomph.
Yeah, it's probably got a little more caramel than the regular Jack Daniels, and the nuttiness is a little less than the regular Jack Daniels. But caramel and nutty are the two prominent ones for me here. I like it though.
Mm-hmm.
And at 32 for a bottle and bond.
Oh, all day long.
I think I probably do.
All day long.
Now, I am possibly wrong, probably wrong, often wrong. But I think...
Especially if it's your wife telling you that.
I think the Evan Williams bottle and bond is the cheapest bottle and bond bottle you can get.
That we've done, I believe so. Yeah,
absolutely that we've done. But I don't know that there is a cheaper because that's $12. I bought that for $12. I think it's as high as 14 now. Inflation,
everything's going up, man.
So 14. That's got to be the cheapest bottle and bond ever seen.
And you cannot argue with the taste of that Evan Williams bonded.
No,
it's just
$14.
So good. I think it's got a flavor beyond what its price point is.
I do too. I value it enough. I brought it to Aruba.
What do you are?
You ready for the cigar?
It has.
Yeah, there's something weird I can't pick out either.
Yeah,
it's I want to say it's paper, like cardboard.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. I do like the white ash.
No, so you coming up with it? I'm gonna say the weird thing that you're trying to pick out is probably for me. I'm calling it cardboard.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, so it's in my mind, and it's kind of there. I mean, there's a earthy undertone to it, maybe a little toasted undertone to it, but there's something in the forefront that we just do not come across normally. I just can't. I mean, cardboard's as good a description as any.
But there's something baking spice in there too. I don't know why I always default to nutmeg, but it's not. It's interesting.
It's not nutmeg this time.
It's really mild. I'm going to call this a pretty mild cigar. The retrohale is very pleasant. It's not harsh at all.
I love the dark amber.
Yeah, that's a good look.
That Jack Bonded has.
It's a good color.
And those legs, they stay up there for a while.
It's a good color.
Yeah. They go so well. Actually, they are going pretty darn good together.
I haven't decided which is better yet.
Get the
first.
Yeah, draw or sip first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet, but it's. Yeah,
It's working.
I should probably think about that.
It's working.
I was about to say that I can still get that odd flavor. I say odd, but I don't mean it in a bad way. But I get that odd flavor out still drinking, sipping on the Jack. But I guess I should figure out what happens if because I wasn't paying attention. Was I token first or sipping first? Token first, sipping first. Huh?
So far, I'm not finding a preference. They both kind of stay out each other's way. I'm not finding that one before the other matters. I like both of them in both directions. They're staying. I'm not finding that the alcohol is changing the cigar, so and vice versa.
Yeah, it really doesn't. But part of it is this thing has got such a long finish. It lingers
Actually,
for a while.
This Jack has a pretty long finish.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to give it a nice break or do a rinse to really be able to tell.
Yeah, I did a rinse.
So in that regard, I don't think it's really going to matter. But it also in that regard, it didn't matter. It didn't matter which way went first. The flavors were still there. The individual flavors were still there. I do like this. I do like this Jack.
I do too. People, I think what happens is
we need to do this and the number 7 together.
Sure, we could do that.
Not mixed in the same glass, but sip them
and then mixed in the same glass.
And see just
let's see what 90 proof Jack is,
and see just how different and how similar they really are.
That's exactly what we should do.
Yeah,
brilliant. I'm gonna have to buy a bottle of Jack now because we finished that bottle of Jack.
Oh, did we?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, what happened? Well, actually,
somebody's got to.
We finished about half of it on the show. That was quite a night, and then I think I brought it to a softball game, and one of my favorite softball dads helped me kill it.
I'm taking a guess in my mind who it is.
Yeah.
And I think I'm right.
Yeah, it's him.
He's a good guy. I really like him.
So,
all the
I think
softball
what happens
dads listening are like, yeah, that's me.
I think a lot of people perceive Jack as like a high school drink. And then when they get older, they keep thinking of it as a high school drink and not quality. But it is.
Well,
is it the best of the best?
I admit.
Probably not, but is it
I
bad?
thought that too.
No.
I fully admit I thought that too. And then you brought the number 7 on the show. It's like, wow, this...
Yeah, you hadn't had it in 20 years.
Yeah, and this... But it really wasn't bad. I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed this a whole lot more.
Really? A
Yeah.
whole lot more?
A whole lot more.
I find them very comparable.
But that's why I want to do side by side,
Yes.
just to figure out, am I just, given a lower perception of the number 7, or is that really the case?
That'll make a good show, actually.
I want to know.
I think that'll make a good show.
Yeah.
People, Jack. It's freaking Jack.
Yeah. Well, and some of this, I mean, the Scotch samplers that we have, where we had the 4 of them.
Yes.
I mean, that was a big surprise.
Was for me as well.
Yeah.
I
never
did not
know.
think
You
the
never know.
Founders Reserve would be so much better than the 14.
You never know.
A lot cheaper price, too. Yeah, so that was good, too.
It's worth doing those. Explore it.
I should get more of those.
Yeah.
Especially, they're out there, especially for a show.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little 4-pack sampler. We'll
It's
kill that.
It's nice because you're able to go through those without paying
Oh, yeah.
$400 worth of liquor
Right,
for one
right.
show.
Okay.
No, did you say honey for the Jack?
No.
Yeah, because I kind of think I'm getting a little bit of honey.
Okay.
Try that. Sip, take a sip of it and think about it.
I mean, it's sweet. But it doesn't, no,
not really.
No, not honey.
Yeah.
The nuts, it's so nutty.
It is.
So that's kind of what my perception is that this is nutty.
Okay, I'm gonna do a rinse and just do the cigar for a moment.
Okay. I'll join you in that. I don't know. It seems very similar. I don't think the alcohol was changing it much. Still pretty similar for me.
Yep. Yeah. Same here. Now it is kind of this cigar is leaving a coating on my tongue.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a medium body,
and the long finish of the Jack. I don't know. I'm starting to change my mind about how much I like these together.
Oh yeah,
yeah, but we still got some show left.
I'll
figure it out before the show's done. I guarantee it.
Well, maybe we go to a PopSci article from popsci.com
PopSci
on sustainable green cement.
PopSci.
Not actually green.
Not
so
the color green.
The title is Green Cement Could Change the Construction Game, but will builders actually use it? So the idea is these two researchers out of University of Tokyo, Koto Machida and Yuya Sakai, made cement out of food waste. So food waste was tested before, but this time they're making cement entirely from food waste, which is rather interesting. Entirely. So 100%.
How do you... You can't.
They can't. So apparently they spent months mixing the food waste with plastic to get materials to stick together. They found the right temperature and pressure to make cement from just the food waste without the additives. So they wanted to get rid of the plastic. They use a heat pressing strategy, typically used to make construction material from wood powder. So I'm picturing like a press board, but they're doing it with food. They mix the food waste powder, water, and press it into a mold at 350 degrees. They say the tensile or bending strength of the cement is more than 3 times that of ordinary concrete.
Wow.
Well, that's the bending and tensile, right?
Yeah, but in Japan, where you have constant earthquakes, you want that.
Right.
So it could make it, well, yeah, but it doesn't say what its load-bearing capacity is. What's its PSI?
Right.
What PSI will
I think
it take?
that's very important.
Yeah. The other thing is, how much is it going to cost to make?
I think that's the problem.
You cannot...
350 degrees is pretty hot.
And you cannot make it cost more than cement now. Building materials are already astronomically high, including concrete.
So they didn't specifically mention it in this article, but what I'm picturing...
How much? Yeah.
No, not just how much, but what I'm picturing is this isn't a street, and this isn't a foundation to a house.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be like cinder block. Right? You get something you can press. You press it into a mold.
Okay.
You heat it. You churn out.
I would totally buy that.
Right. And then cinder block construction is still awesome. I actually love cinder block construction, especially for hurricane and fire issues.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be awesome. Now, if it's going to be more expensive, something they pointed out much later in the article was that, it's a heavily regulated industry. So it's going to have to go through a lot of testing to be approved for anything. So even if you had the perfect product right now,
it has to be because people's lives depend upon the structural.
Well, maybe they can make it for China first. They don't seem to care.
Yeah,
they don't seem to care.
Sell it to China.
Their buildings are falling over all the time.
There you go.
Remember that building that lay on its side?
No rebar
no
whatsoever.
Rebar. What the heck's wrong with you? That was so dumb.
That was hilarious. Luckily, nobody was in it. Nobody died. They were digging out around it, it fell.
It was just so dumb.
But it was awesome.
but ideally, they don't do that anymore.
Exactly what you think of Chinese construction.
Yeah, probably. So, let's see.
We are going to have to talk, one of these shows, we're going to have to talk about the Chinese unmanned vehicles.
Oh, yeah, they're selling big right now.
For wartime.
Oh, I thought you meant the cars are selling like hotcakes right now.
Oh, they're scuttlebutt is they're looking at making a carrier for unmanned vehicles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you attack with a swarm concept.
Yes.
That's dangerous for everybody else.
Well, they can't bring people over here very conveniently.
Yeah.
They know their ultimate enemy is us. And we're just too far away to strike. So they're going to go basically.
And we can overwhelm an area. I mean, you get 2 carrier strike groups in a region, and they dominate. How do you make them not dominate? Swarm.
Right.
Swarm kamikaze.
Right.
Unmanned vehicles.
I'm sure.
That's what you do.
Oh, okay. So
how did your band come off? Did it come off
Yeah,
pretty
it came
easy?
off fine.
Okay, that's good. That foot band did not. I had to work it to get that foot band off.
Oh, okay. No, mine came off all right. They also mentioned, and of course this makes total sense, that each type of food waste requires different temperatures and pressures. So they've
Makes
done
complete
tea
sense.
leaves, oranges, onion peels, coffee grounds, Chinese cabbage, and lunchbox leftovers. So now you have to have hundreds of different cement formulations, and this is going to be very challenging, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be really challenging.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, worthy cause. Man, look at that. I mean, that is just so nice.
Yeah, it's burning great.
I do like the flavor. It leaves a coating on the tongue, and it's still a flavor. I mean, might as well say cardboard. Cardboard is as close as anything.
It's kind of
but
papery.
it is pleasant.
Yeah.
I do like it.
It's very nice. If I had to guess, I'd say most of this is Dominican tobacco. Although,
I mean, you can't.
Then I don't know.
You could say that it was no, because it's not really a allspice.
No,
it is more paper.
I don't know what it is.
More paper.
I don't know what it is. That's the best I could come up with.
It is more papery. I'll buy it. All right. Do we want to take a little break?
Sure. Let's take a little break.
Let's do that.
Enjoy the any time of the day cigar. Drunk Chicken cigars are nub-alicious. So good you'll smoke it to a nub. You can get 10% off your order at drunkchickencigars.com by using the promo code CLM2020.
So part of me wonders, in the same way that we were obsessed with switchgrass and other renewables, you don't have to grow switchgrass to have plenty of waste. If you just go to any farmer's field after harvest and pick up all that leftover, all that chaff, you could make concrete out of that, couldn't you?
You could.
It'd be very uniform, be much more uniform than food waste. And it's still the same nitrogen and carbon you're looking for.
Oh, but and you still have to pulverize it or do something to it to make. You got to get the surface area,
yeah,
and you got to make it small enough so that you
can
mix it up in a uniform manner. Yeah,
and readily available and easily bundled because you're already doing the work.
Yeah, kind of. Well, it's not really kind of, but I don't know. Some of that stuff has other uses, like going in hay bales and right, because you only cut so high,
right,
and then you come back through and you cut,
right.
You put that together and it goes in a hay bale.
Yeah,
you need hay. You can't take away the hay.
No, but I mean, you look at the corn waste, for instance. a lot of corn waste.
Yeah.
All that waste could be mulched up.
Yeah, certainly could.
You know,
Certainly could.
Just a thought. But it looks like this is going to be super complicated to begin with, so
And
we're probably not excited about doing that.
John Deere would be more than happy to sell you another attachment to your
No,
tractor.
no kidding. One that you can't repair on your own.
Yes.
Of course. That would be illegal.
Now they lost the suit on right to repair.
As I believe Tesla will as well. Oh,
Yeah.
if they haven't already. I think maybe they may. I don't know. So
I don't know.
we'll see, but I feel like we have plenty of, bio that it's wasted.
A lot of
Plenty of waste bio. It would be bad to make it into cinder blocks.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Of course, we'd still probably make
But it also
concrete mortar.
but again, depends upon the price.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah. I mean, and everything's a waste stream, right?
Until it's a product stream. Gasoline was a waste stream,
Yes, it was.
So.
Them making diesel and kerosene. And the byproduct, or the waste of it, they were able to turn into gasoline.
Yeah.
The kerosene used for heating and lamps.
Yep.
The diesel was sold overseas, and that's why America started using gasoline.
Right.
It was plentiful and cheap.
So it's a waste stream until it's not. So, why don't we turn all this stuff into product?
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean, the oil industry is the model of efficiency.
They are.
Absolute model of efficiency. You cannot argue with that.
They use everything.
They use every bit of it.
So they do mention that they estimate our cement production could increase by as much as 23% by 2050. So a quarter more than what we're making now in the next 30 years.
Oh, that did come off
That's
really
a lot.
easy. That was nice.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but as we get more population,
And what was it? Something like 7% of all of our emissions go to making concrete? Something like that?
you know
Something
what
huge.
we're not. Yeah, it was one of the top 4.
Right.
We covered that a couple of shows ago.
Of course, we don't know what the emissions are going to be like making this. We only know that they can do it. We don't know that they say green, but, it's green till it's really analyzed, right?
Yeah. I also want to know what's the CO2 output from it,
Well, that's what I mean by it.
right?
Yeah.
Well, it takes more. It's going to take more of a carbon footprint to produce the green concrete than it is to produce concrete.
It seems like it would.
Because concrete's all about pulverizing and emulsifying.
And this is heating.
Relatively cheap process.
Yeah, this is heating.
Yeah, that's heating.
And molding, so
Yeah.
could have a larger carbon footprint.
Yeah, or it could end up being a wash if your volume's high enough, right?
Yeah, well, unless we start getting more and more of our energy from solar or fusion. I'm actually rooting for
fusion.
solar, though.
I'm rooting for fusion.
Why?
Fuck solar.
I'm rooting for solar. Because fusion...
Do you have them on your mouse yet?
No. So fusion...
Have you paid your money yet?
Well, I have a note. Yeah, I have a bank note. But I haven't gotten a bill yet. Probably because they haven't installed it yet.
I want my product.
But here's the thing. I want solar to win because people own solar. And you make a what do you call it? A diversified and spread out power grid. You go back to fusion, and you're back to the power company sending stuff out to you again. And now you got big power companies. And I'd rather have everybody be independent.
You're already forgetting the lesson we learned from the freeze that we had here. When there are conditions, and solar more so than wind, you have conditions where that power just stops. That power generation just stops.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not good.
Wouldn't solar keep going?
No.
Why not?
Solar stopped with the freeze as well as the wind. Solar is also affected by cloud cover,
Yeah, of
by
course.
storms, by rain. Things we happen to get a lot of.
Yeah, we actually are getting rain now. That's weird, huh?
So, and the higher percentage of the overall energy production that comes from renewables, that's that much more vulnerable your power supply really is.
I think I'd rather have
It sounds,
a lot of solar and
sounds
some fusion
counterintuitive.
backing it up.
I get it. Sounds counterintuitive, but that's the way it is. And fusion's not dependent upon any of those.
Well,
Fusion will,
unless something happens like the natural gas plants where it shuts down because some input is too cold or too hot or not right. But I'd like the idea of giving the power to the people and not having corporations
power
run
to
everything.
the people.
In this case, literally. But, I like having it more diversified across thousands of roofs than one company that says, and you're our power company. I hope you enjoy what we send you because our bill is going to be whatever. Good luck with that. You don't have any choices.
Don't get me wrong. I want it to work as good as it can. I want it to work much better than what it is now.
It will.
I do like the idea of the diversification because you're not putting all of your
eggs in one basket. Sure.
Yeah, but you have to. You can't. We lost 10 to 12% of our power generation during the freeze from renewables, the wind and solar plants. We lost all of that, and that was 10 to 12% of our energy needs that we needed.
Could it be all of it? Even with cloud cover, solar still produces some energy.
Some, but they had the units themselves were affected by the freeze.
The freeze. Well, it works in New York. It should work on a freeze down here.
If you harden it against it. But a freeze like that happens once a decade. I mean, you're going to replace these things before that. So do you really want to, are you really going to spend that extra money? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that it has to be reliable, even in the worst of conditions. If it's not worth it.
Well, that makes natural gas plants not worth it. Because that's what shut down here.
Yeah.
So.
But that wasn't due to.
I suggest hardening our solar.
Okay.
So here's the thing, like, maybe I don't need 100% of everything operating in my house. But if I can keep, whatever, my dishwasher and my stove and my refrigerator and my freezer going, then everything doesn't go to shit.
Nobody's going to do that. Absolutely nobody. We have lake levels that drop. They don't drop because of global warming. They don't drop because we don't get enough rain. They drop because people are watering their damn yards.
Well, not me.
So if you can't get people to stop watering their yards to save water, how are you going to get them to shut lights off or shut things down or not use stuff to save power?
Well, you can.
You're not going to. They're gonna use everything they can until everything shuts off.
Yeah,
and then they're gonna bitch and complain.
Yeah.
About if you conserved some.
So I want to say it was
if you scale back some, but nobody does without anymore. And I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use it as long as it's there. Forget about everyone else. That's what people think. That's what the mass majority of people do.
That's true.
And because, really. It's what happens. It's the truth. And you can't, unless you can find a way around that, or you can regulate it, which they could regulate it. You put smart everything in,
and then it just shuts it off for you.
Then your power companies, they regulate all that. So they determine what gets switched on and off in your house.
Not super excited about that either.
I don't want that.
No. No. I do think that I would like to get away from the centralized power company and have more in the hands of the individual. It's just, I don't know. That's me.
And if that, power to the people. And if that, Co-op power. Yeah, that's what we're on. Decentralized co-op power.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, and ours went down for 10 minutes out of that whole freeze. Fabulous. I love living out in the boonies.
Well, like I said, we were on a hospital grid, so we didn't lose power either. But
yeah.
I mean, I could have been okay with less.
You could have. All of your neighbors wouldn't have, and didn't.
No, because they were also on hospital grid.
I mean, it's like you have to identify where the problems are before you can really fix something. And the usage is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Power generation isn't really the biggest problem. It's usage. Usage is the biggest problem.
Yeah, it keeps growing.
Keeps growing.
Yeah.
And every time you have people move into an area, if you're not increasing your power generation or clamping down on usage, electricity, water, then you're going to run up against the same problems. You're going to have times where it's going to be not so good.
Right. So our water problem is less about rainfall and more about the 10 million people who have moved to Texas in the last 15 years.
And who are watering their yards.
Yeah. I'm watering my garden.
Watering your garden's fine. That doesn't use as much water as watering your yard.
Now, in July, I'll probably kick it on a couple times when the lawn starts to look a little crunchy. Yeah. I'll kick it on so it doesn't die, and then so I'll probably water about 5 times a year.
Yeah, which is perfect. Everybody should be doing that. If everybody was doing that, we'd have more than enough water. And you know who needs to do that more than anybody else? The people around Austin. Stop griping to me, trying to take my tax money to pay for global warming crap when what you need to do is stop watering your yard.
I thought you were going to say Mexico City, since it's about to fall into its own hole because they've emptied their aquifer underneath the city. Now it's sinking.
And what have they been doing with it? Watering.
I don't know what they're doing. It's a giant city. I don't know that.
It is. It's a really huge city.
I don't know if they're watering, but I know that I think it was South Africa said we're literally going to run out of water in like 30 days. And they had a countdown. And they asked people to stop doing a lot of things. One of them was watering the lawn.
Yep.
And they pulled out of it. So it can be done. We just have to actually stop wasting stuff.
Yes. I fully agree. All right. Well, I think
this was a quick cigar.
This episode kind of went quick.
Yeah.
The cigar went really fast. So I think what we're going to say is pretty much going to be the same thing. So just go ahead and say it.
I really like the cigar. I'm liking the Principal line. I've only had 3 cigars from the Principal line, but I like it. And this was another really good one. They're a smaller boutique. This is one we got from Industrial. Mm-hmm. And, good smoke. The Bottle and Bond, I'm just a sucker for Bottle and Bond, period.
Oh, hell yeah.
I am. I'm with Lubbers on that one. I like Bernie Lubbers.
$30 or $12. Bottle
and
Bond.
Somewhere between 30 and 12. You can get a good Bottle and Bond.
And Lone Elm should go Bottle and Bond.
I think they should.
Yeah. Really interesting flavor on this cigar. You called it cardboard. I'm like, yeah, okay. It's better than anything. Yeah, the rest of it, yeah. That's all I got.
All right, I feel better.
Heck yeah.
It did smoke fast, though.
It did.